on this Sober James podcast, Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to read a poem by Dylan Thomas entitled, "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." And we're going to see what it says about recovery. You know what I'm saying, Ryan? Ryan says, I'm still trying to wrap my head around Terrible Offenders Anonymous 13%. I'm still trying to wrap my head around anything that you type, bro. No, not anything. But the poem by Dylan Thomas, I almost got it tatted on my chest about 7 years back. I don't know if God didn't like the artist or what have you, but I saved myself $1,000 because he was going to overcharge me. But that's beside the point. Dylan Thomas wrote a poem, "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." It has relevance to a meeting, a topic of recovery and sobriety and recovery from addiction. They say it has been said to do not leave the rooms of AA before the miracle happens. I'm on this side of a couple miracles, so I can tell you that that's absolutely, you can have full-on faith in, if you want to destroy my sweater. Hold this thread as I walk away. You know what I mean? Hey, Miss Hashtag Folly. Folly Ford. Folly Horde. So, we're going to get a couple people in here, and then we're going to read this poem and see what you guys think about it. Have you ever heard this poem, Ryan, Holly? Well, let's read it. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on that sad height, curse, bless me now for your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. I guess it's been said that he wrote it for his father when his father was on his deathbed. What's up, Mindsai? What's up, Lynn B? Mindsai, aka For the Sake of the Songs, or is it Words Dyslexicon? So, do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. I just came from a meeting. I go to AA meetings. This is I would say it's the leading example of group therapy. But that's only part of it. Glad to see you too. That was a Dylan Thomas wrote that poem, Ryan. Let everyone, by the way, Ryan, I just want everyone to know Ryan is not gay. Some jokes were thrown. I just want everyone to know now that Ryan is definitely not gay. Right, Ryan? One of the topics in the AA meeting that I went to tonight was was the topic that was talked about at the AA meeting that I was just at, facilitated, chaired, was someone brought up how they still have reservations and they don't understand. This is a person in relatively early sobriety. And they don't understand when people tell them, don't leave before the miracle happens. Now, I didn't understand that either. However, when I was desperate enough, I went on faith that they knew what they were talking about. These were sober people with various amounts of years. What's up, Antonio? So Ryan is not gay, everybody. I just want everybody to know that. You know what I mean? It's just something that needs to be settled. Ryan is not gay. Thank you, Holly, for hammering home the point of Ryan is not gay, everybody. So, on the topic of not being able to wait for this miracle to happen, in early sobriety, early recovery, let me know if you guys can relate. But we want things on our time and we want things on our terms. And we haven't yet learned that recovery is heavily based on accepting life on life's terms, not James's terms, not James's dreams, not James's time schedule. So I was reminded of this today because out of nowhere, I had a good day when it comes to trying to enter the field of addiction recovery as far as a career goes. I had a good day. And it occurred to me that I had stopped trying to force it. You know what I mean? I had stopped trying to force all of the good things that I think are the good things that I need and that I want in my life and in my recovery. And I get pissed when they're not here in a week. I try to exercise patience and wait for 1 month exactly, and then I get pissed. Well, it's not my time. I have no say. Virtually. I have virtually no say, practically no say in life on life's terms. Reality is a power greater than me. It is in charge. I am not. This is an essential perspective shift that needs to occur in an addict's mind to recover, in my opinion, from addiction. The shift from I want and I need and I want and I deserve and I'm entitled to and I am going to do whatever it takes to make the world exactly how I like it. This isn't the way the world works. I know. Our parents used to tell us that and we never understood it. But it's not the way life works. You get everything you want when you want. The other thing I notice is through recovery, if you trust those who have come before you and do as they suggest, even though you have no freaking idea what good it's going to do, if you trust that them when they say, don't leave before the miracle happens, don't leave before it happens. And it happens in stages. And I'm coming to theorize, at least, that that's because now that I'm not drinking, I get to grow and experience life and all of its pain, beauty, glory, failure, embarrassment, justice, with all of its wins and losses. I get to experience it and grow. And as I grow, I experience new planes of reality and when I'm continuously living a life of doing the next right thing and giving it up to God and just saying like, look, I barely have any control over what happens to me or my life. And when I try to take control, I mess it up. I mean, who here can say that they have taken control of their life and for the better? I know the reason I'm here is because I'm in AA because my life had become unmanageable. Do you know what I'm saying, Holly? Mike Tucker? Oh, yes. Lynn B. Do you know what I mean, man? Let's read what you guys are talking about. Antonio's back from 2021. Left because I thought I was sober and not an alcoholic anymore, but boy, was I wrong. Antonio is now the most important person in the room for a couple reasons. One, because we get to learn what happens if we forget that we are an alcoholic. Antonio, I'm sure, is feeling it. The ringer. Oh, what is it? Is my voice all weird? See, I knew, and now my voice is not weird. My voice is always weird, but you know what I mean? Lynn B, Mike Tucker. Reunited and it feels so good. Reunited as it often should. Bing bong boom, bing bong booms. Bing bong boom, boom, bing bings. Bing booms. Hey, what's up, Hillary May? So, do not go gently into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Applies to recovery in these terms. They say, don't leave before the miracle happens. I got impatient. I left a couple times over the past couple decades. I left AA and I got impatient. I say, paradise has not been bestowed upon me after I've done these things of which you asked me to do. And I'm out, bitches. That was basically what I said. I know more. You know what I mean? Hillary May, your alias is on the screen. You revealed your alias. She's like, no, don't look at me. Yes, you're presenting yourself as you are. Oh, good. It's such a joy to come as you are. You know what I mean? Kurt Cobain was right all along. This leg of the journey of my recovery, I am relaxing and being cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Being myself. Ryan, I have yet to read a sentence tonight that you have written that I understand. Mike Tucker, Heather. We've been through a lot on this channel, haven't we? And so this is where experience comes in. Once you get your own experience, you know that the, quote, miracle can happen. But before you experience that, it's a leap of faith. So going into that good night is giving in and drinking or doing your drug of choice. Destruction, chaos, mass confusion. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have experience with yearning and just aching for something? And then, years and shit go by and you want this thing and you're striving for it. You think you're doing everything. But, you know what I mean? And then you give up on it. Only to have to come back for the search for it and the quest And then you'd go again and you realize if you would have just kept going for like 5 seconds more the last time, you would have got it. Don't leave until the miracle happens is what they say in the rooms. People who the miracle has happened to say this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, my floozies? What's up, my floozies? So let's, I want to enter the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Thank you, Antonio, for acknowledging my my thumbnail. Linby says, I'm striving for something now, and now that I'm not drinking, I actually have the motivation to keep at it. True that. You know why drinking would take your motivation away? Because drinking would be an instant access to a flood of dopamine, and you'd be like, well, this is good enough. And then the next day you'd be like, drinking's good enough again. And then the next day, drinking's good enough. Drinking's good enough for life is what we would say. I'm just going to drink. You know what I mean? I don't need to get motivated to seek building that replica, that 400-year-old ship. I mean, who needs to build a replica of a 400-year-old ship anyway? I just drink my booze, man. You know what I mean? Enter the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Oh man, I'm about to eat this steak and potatoes. That's some dopamine. I hear you. But Antonio, welcome back, man. I know the feeling of, relapse is a dirty word because it makes everybody think the end is near and shit. Relapse is almost certain. You don't even know what I'm talking about, guys. You don't even know what I mean, man. No, I can't say that because people will be like, "Oh man, he's saying you're gonna drink no matter what." Relapse. We've already talked about relapse. That's not even the topic. The topic is not giving up, staying sober, and trudging on because you know that you can't drink, and just keep going a day at a time. And I'm telling you, shit happens. Miracles, man. You know what I'm saying? Miracles, yo. Happen. Miracles, excellent things, God stuff. You can call it whatever you want. But life you begin to recover life just by an addict staying sober. And the thing is, though, just staying away from booze, but not addressing, not growing, not feeling, and escapism, practicing escapism and other means of escape, you're not going to grow, and you will eventually drink, in my experience. Lynn B, I don't want to drink again. Don't want to go back to that hellish experience. None of us do. I mean, maybe some of us do. But we... Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say we have built-in forgetters? That's right, Holly. It is said by science that after 5 years of abstaining from booze, your brain literally starts to physically regenerate. And like you grow, bitches. That's what I'm saying. And like they call it regeneration of the brain. I call it you continue to grow like you should have been done doing before you started drinking yourself to oblivion. Built-in forgetters. Yeah, built-in forgetters, meaning when I'm sober for a long time, I forget how bad it got when I was drinking. When I've been drinking for a long time, I forget how good it gets when I'm sober. So that's built-in forgetters. I have been through the ringer, bro. Jails, institutions, death, comas, seizures. You know what I mean? Chaos, mass confusion. And a couple years sober, and if I don't continue to work with newcomers or talk about it daily or on these live streams or at AA meetings, if I don't continue to talk about it and then see people like Anthony, the newcomer coming back from road testing or trials and tribulations or a trial run out there at the bars or out there your drug and choice, you come back like, it doesn't work, man, don't go out there. Do not go out there. Stay in here. Lock those doors. Nobody leaves this room. Trust me. The people come back. When I drag myself back in after a relapse, I was like desperate again. And I was more willing to and open to the program. And we have to stay in the rooms. That's the point of like being part of a community of people in recovery. We have to it has to stay a conversation. You can't forget that you have a disease of addiction. In my experience, you can't sweep it under the rug and just not drink. You just can't, in my experience. Alcoholism is a spectrum. I believe alcoholism is a spectrum. Happening at levels of biochemistry, at levels of psychology, at levels of genealogy, and at levels of personality, skeetily beetly bee. You know what I mean? Finally broken, like Cool Hand Luke. Peace and tranquility. Alcohol is literally inviting darkness back in. And Mike, you haven't drank in 5 years or so. You've been growing. You've been feeling life's tribulations and adapting and growing and developing defense mechanisms, survival techniques. You know what I mean? A boner or two. If I know you, Mike Tucker. I looked at eternity to work like AA purpose of helping. I don't know what you mean, Ryan. I'm not sure what your sentences mean, buddy. James, I looked at eternity to work like AA purpose of helping. Hey, what's up, Noah? Sigma Schwab in the house, Noah. Hi, James. Been a couple weeks. Last week I was doing ecstasy and ended up taking a Perk 30, then same one that made me die. Smoked some weed, had a bad experience. Now I'm working out 20 reps, 5 sets. Sound like a horrible story with a relatively happy ending. Yeah, we missed you, Noah. That's a lot of drugs, brother. But, whatever. At least you got to smoke some weed and work out. Ba-dum, boom, boom. The thing about the promises are recovery. The promises are the effects of recovery. There are things like being able to intuitively handle situations which used to baffle us. Your fear of economic insecurity and of people is no longer present. These are the examples of the promises. We will know serenity and we will know peace. These are the promises of working the steps of the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. But in recovery, in many modalities of recovery, you can get the same effects by doing various versions of the 12 steps. The 12 steps are just a simple laid out blueprint of ancient spiritual practices. Clean house, be honest, be courageous, serve others, have love and tolerance, trust in God. Do not trust in your own self. Chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. You know, these are the ancient spiritual principles. You know what I mean? Chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. That was the Dalai Lama, I think, who said that. You know what I mean? Sigma? 5 days now I've been clean from everything, just doing workouts and AA meetings. That sounds good. I'm just sick of living like that. I mean, I'm trying harming myself last week. Just hit the bottom after all of it. I'm doing better one day at a time. Okay. Well, that sounds good, man. So you're going to AA meetings. Well, I'm glad to hear that. One day at a time. This sounds excellent. Ryan says, without the purpose of helping like AA, what else is there? That's why we are humans and the demons are watchers. Without purpose of helping like AA, what else is there? Exactly. AA recovery has now become my main purpose in life. Purpose is, it could be said, I heard it said tonight at a meeting, that purpose is essential to recovering from addiction. And AA delivers purpose. Here, make this coffee. Here, set up these chairs. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself useful. These esteemable things that they have us doing, they suggest that we do, build our self-esteem again. And then I'm walking taller. I was 6'5". I swear to God, I'm 6'7" now. I'm walking taller. You know, that wasn't in the promises, but it happened anyway. You know what I mean? 6'8". You heard right. 6'11" is how tall I am now. Straight up 6 foot 13 inches. It's a miracle. Hillary May says, James, definitely Dalai Lama, and a quote, "Chicka, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because people like me are bad for your health." So relatable. So it was the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama said that. Yeah, I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'13" in this bitch. And you know, six foot 13 inch. It is a disease, Noah says, but the stigma around us addicts is ridiculous. Oh, I can't be near this junkie if I'm smoking or something. Like, it's like, come on, man, I don't care about weed, do you? Eventually, you will learn purpose is G, James, AA. I'm not sure. I can't decipher your code, bro. I don't know what you're saying. I care deeply about weed, actually. Noah, I care deeply about. Antonio, who's 6'14"? Who's 6 foot 14 inches? I'm every inch of 6 foot 17 inches. Nah, bro, I'm 6'5". I'm tall, you know. I'm basically retarded, but I'm tall, you know what I mean? You know, it balances out. You know, people are always jealous of how tall I am. Well, I'm basically, you know, mentally retarded as well. So, like, we all have our demons, you know. Sometimes we're tall and stupid. Sometimes we're tall and smart and eloquent, like myself. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Don't be hating. Don't be jealous. Don't be hating. I'm 6'5". I bump my head on shit, you know what I mean? Sure, I can reach a pickle jar, you know. Sure, I can stash my pickles and my pickle jars up where no one can reach them. But that's, you know, it's about the only benefit of being tall. Stashing pickle jars where nobody can reach them. That and basically every woman on earth loves you. But, you know, it's few and far between, the benefits. I am tall. You know what I mean? But I've felt small my entire life. Part of this disease involves an inferiority complex. Could you imagine my 6'5" ass with my muscles just amazing? Symmetry and like, you know, especially when I oil them up. I'm 6'5" of oiled muscles coming at you, and I feel inferior. You know what I mean? That's been the story of my life. An egomaniac with an inferiority complex. I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. Oh, Antonio, see, you're already on the road to recovery, bro. You remembered you got them 5'11" boots. You know what I mean? Yeah, how tall is Hot Boy Ryan? Tall glass of pickle juice. Pickle juice is good for your body. Yeah. I hope all you young ladies out there are keeping good care of your bodies. Ryan is 6 foot. I mean, that ain't no 6'5" or nothing. But Ryan is a level 1 hot boy, where Sober James is level 10. You like that, Antonio? I hope all you young ladies are taking good care of your bodies out there. I really do. I hope. Yeah, we need a picture of Hot Boy Ryan for reference. Oh, nobody knows what Ryan's talking about. No, don't worry. Ryan, every 1 in 20 sentences you can understand. It means wash yourselves. I'm trying to think of my old Black Sheep album. 'Cause I don't want the funk to flow. And after I nut, yo, you gotta go. Don't you know ho? Don't you know ho? Remember Black Sheep? 9.5. That guy used to rap about his penis. His penis was 9.5 inches, allegedly, you know. It's none of my business, but it is. I'm very interested in it. You know what I mean? I know that. I know it, Gabe. Listen, I'm working on my seduction skills. Be like, baby, I hope you're washing your vagina out there. That's seductive. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it gets the conversation going about clean vaginas. Oh, no, you're not. What? Polluting? What? Everybody thinks everybody thinks they're affecting the world. See, this is our curse. We're not much, but we're all we think about. I think something's happening because of me. Hillary thinks something's happening because of her. You know what I mean? Antonio thinks juices are flowing. because of him. No, it's obviously because I started talking about the vagina. The the miracle. Don't leave before the miracle happens. So miracles have happened to me, and I know it's gross. That's why it's so funny. Okay, you know. But I'll move on from the vaginas. Um, yeah, you could call it a miracle. Let's just put it this way: in the depths, in the depths of our addictions, in our fucking rock bottoms and shit, we couldn't picture what has happened to me in recovery. I could have never pictured it. I thought I was going to die multiple times. None of this I could have pictured. It's by God's grace, therefore it could be called a miracle. It wasn't my doing. It was me being open, honest, and willing. Balls, vaginas, the whole nine. Well, guys, I do have a steak and some potatoes. Well, let me just go check on them, okay? All right? Trying to slow roast them. Steak and potato, steak and potato. Yeah, go for a little bit longer. Come on, honey. I'm like miss. I'm experimenting. Yeah, there's fish in there, but I'm thinking about getting goldfish again because I love goldfish. Get one for me, mom. A caravan. Yeah, what sign is everyone? I am a Leo. You know what I mean? Hillary May's an Aries. Sigma Noah, if you respect women, you would stay sober. For real, you're going to be, you know what I mean? When you get drunk and when you get high, you get out there and you be putting that thing anywhere, you know. Lynn B's a Capricorn. Antonio said that's gay. I don't know what I am because that's gay. If you respect women, Noah, you'd stay sober. You know what I mean? There's no other ifs, ands, or ways about it. You know? As far as recovery goes, how are you guys doing? You know what I mean? I'm always yammering on about my recovery. How's everybody doing? Noah's out there doing ecstasy and you know, uh Hillary is smoking crack. I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to talk about crack that way. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I know you're going to AA meetings. You're 5 days, right? And I know. I was just playing. Noah's going to AA and taking it a day at a time. Hot boy Ryan later. Hot boy Ryan on his disciplined recovery method of only 7% IPAs a day. Just a masterclass in discipline. Four days sober from my huge bender, going to get to another meeting on Wednesday night, trying to get over a girl. That's the worst part. This happens to be the worst part of a lot of people's recovery, Antonio. I know somebody right now that won't shut up about their ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife. I have had my experiences with romance and, quote, love or lust in recovery because we don't get what we want. We think the world should work out how we want it. We're not accepting life on life's terms. Heartbreak is a part of life. If we drink over it, we don't get to benefit from it by the growth that is provided by it. If we don't get to experience these things and having to move on and having to accept death and loss of a loved one or a breakup, if we drink through these things, we don't grow and we are doomed to repeat it. So this pain is part of the human condition. Antonio, get over a girl, get over a guy, get over the death of someone in the family. This is life. And we drank over a lot of this stuff, and that was the mistake. Good night, Hillary May. Well, thank you, Antonio. I'm glad it reached where I'm glad it reached you. If we don't, it's life. Heartbreak is life. I've felt it. Every single one of us here has felt it. We have numbed it. And when sobriety has to be attained, when abstinence and recovery has to be sought after, we have to experience these pains and pleasures. Pain is the cornerstone of growth, is what they say officially, apparently. Pain is the cornerstone of growth. And with all these lovely, lovely substances that take us away from pain, we don't get that pain. We don't get that growth. I'm still a 14-year-old boy over in this bitch. Except I'm in the body of a 44-year-old, and I don't know how to, shop for groceries. Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, my main point of this stream is recovery gets tough, and sometimes it gets long before you get what you think you want. And then through experience and time, a person like me can tell you that you get your life recovered in ways that you couldn't have even imagined how good they are. You thought you wanted this. Let's just say you thought you wanted a girlfriend, when what you really got was the ability to be empathetic and caring for all humans. You didn't ask for that, but that's what you got because you were patient and you were open and honest and willing. You know what I mean? All I think I want over here is a bag of money. And I just want that bag of money. I'm just going to do everything in my world to be a YouTuber and get that money so I can get a fucking yacht and write soberdelic on the back of it. And I get the bitches dancing and I get the money and the bags and the lobsters and shit. That's what I think I want. But I have a disease of perception, and we live in a diseased world. That's what they tell you you want. But the mystics and wisdom of the ages knows that it is in giving that you experience true joy, not in getting, but in giving. And, tidbits like this is what recovery brings. When you allow yourself to feel pain and you allow yourself to grow and you allow yourself to feel impatience and just waiting for that thing to happen, when lo and behold, other things that have been happening all around you in your life. It's miraculous. It's straight up and down miraculous, y'all. Let me go eat my steak, okay? I hope I gave you something to think about, meditate on. Noah, you keep going to meetings, buddy. Don't leave before the miracle happens. Ryan, you got to stop drinking to get sober, man. Antonio, welcome back. Keep coming back. Thanks for reminding me that it ain't no better out there. Good night, Hillary. What's up, Mindside? Thank you for your comments and your tidbits. Love you, Holly. Lynn B, it's good to see you. Noah, good to see you too, brother. Ryan, good to see you as well, brother. And I stream Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Click that like button. Do me a favor. Click that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Touch the bell if you haven't. And consider joining to help carry the message if you have not. And hang in there to the ones of you that are hanging in there. And thank you to all of you for helping me stay sober tonight. I'll see you Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the damn thing. Peace.